Okay, folks, good morning. And yes, you're not seeing things. It's actually a workday morning, and I got about an hour or so, a little bit less probably. But I cut off my show yesterday a little earlier than I wanted to. And I got this cough now that's hopefully not too annoying for you guys or myself. We're going to try it, so. But, the girls came back and needed to help them unload the car. And I didn't get a chance to put the green stuff on these pieces that we were casting last night. But I wanted to see how this Knead-A-Tight works as opposed to the Army Painter stuff. Because the Army Painter stuff is pretty expensive for the amount that you get. You get a lot more here. And I'll give you my impressions on how this is. So I mixed this up and put it in the I didn't spend a whole lot of time off camera, but I wanted to see. I mean, you got to start casting these things because there's a lot I want to make. And my initial impressions with this stuff is it smells weird. Borderline smells bad, as opposed to the Army Painter stuff that doesn't really have a smell. I mean, not really much of a smell to it, but I don't like the smell of this stuff. It mixes better. Like, it's not like you need less torque to mix it. So that part was positive, but it's a lot stickier too. So we're going to take this out of the mold, and depending on how it is, we will either put more of it down and fill these molds again, including this one, with the same stuff, or I probably should use the same stuff unless I pull it out and it's like obviously like this stuff's no good, or I'm not having any luck with it. I mean, people use it, but the Army Painter one, if you could improve a couple things, this is the things I would have improved on. It's got two pieces that are next to each other. Okay, so you've got this area next to the two, next to the blue and the yellow is kind of curing, is kind of interacting with each other. So it'll mix, but this stuff really won't, and you have this dud material, so to speak. And it is really hard, which is just a problem. It's not a pleasant experience mixing it. Other than that, it's good stuff, and it behaves really well. I have some of the track links here. We're probably not going to do that with these, but these will almost like with these you can almost bend it. You can bend it literally. It can bend itself, and then it'll bounce back. That's honestly, I think, pretty handy, especially if you're going to put something like around a turret or something like that. So it's not really difficult to deal with like white milliput, which crumbles, which I'm sure has its uses. But we tried this, and I hope it works, even though it's stinky. I'm a little concerned about doing it on here. I probably need to go to the store if I'm going to do a lot more of this stuff. And they sell a little $4 one that's about this big. It would be perfect just to lay right here. And then I can even cut on that thing to my heart's content. But let's put some water down here. And let's just see how this stuff looks after 10 hours or so of setting. Should be plenty good. Still have to be a little careful with it. And hopefully it's not tacky. So I don't remember what's in what. But this is the least critical. Oh, and we get to see what the clear one looks like. All right, so we're just going to peel this with our hand. pretty good. I'm going to take a picture of it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull them all out and show you guys a picture. Now, it's harder than the Army Painter stuff is. The Army Painter stuff would be more flexible. Not that it's a problem, just a commentary. Okay, this should be a single piece of one of these. Looks good. Here's the extra wheels. Not a perfect cast on that one. But not bad. All right, I'm going to show you a picture of this. I'm going to take a picture of this and you guys can see close up what it looks like. Blocking my own light. I'd like to go ahead and cast some more, come home at lunchtime, pull them out, then do another set, you know, a couple days of this, and I should be all set for this. Boy, this lighting, the shadow that this camera is. Let's just do it from back here. I always run the phone usually at the highest brightness, and it was in night mode. Doesn't look bad. What the hell are you doing up at this hour? Well, this is the time I normally wake up at. Every day. I just didn't feel like playing World of Warships this morning for 45 minutes. Off to work. There you go. Now your day can be off to a good start. So this stuff worked pretty well. So I'm not going to tinker with this. I'm not going to pull it off of it. We're going to recast some more Knead-A-Tight. And I am definitely not experienced when it comes to how much to cut off to be able to blend it. I could probably get that down, but I don't plan on using any of the real pieces on here. It's all going to be green stuff. Okay, all. Thank you. Have a good day, man. Be safe out there. I figured some of you guys would probably appreciate that. Retirees across the pond. Should be retirees in the U.S., right? Early people wake up early? Yes, of course. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called early people. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Okay, so let's go and mix more of this stinky luffagus. Last time I cut the blue out first. We're going to do the yellow first. It's the blue one that's stinkier, too. Let's put some of this on here. I mean, look, it's just... Now, when I mixed this other batch yesterday, I did not do a very precise mixture of the two colors. So much that when I was mixing it, it looked kind of bluish. I'm like, shit, I hope it changed color. It got greener. Man, I mixed it for a while. So it all worked out. Holy bat taffy, Batman. Shit, you thought you were up early. Nope, it's your regular time. I must have woke up last night probably 6 times. I got a little bit of a cough. Last time I got the cough was, isn't that a thing? Anyhow, last time I got a cough, I still had a prescription for the medicine that was for me. So I'm like, okay, well, and I didn't use any of it. It was about a year ago, and it was like persistent, like wouldn't go away. Annoying. This was not too bad. But if I sound a little hoarse, I did a lot of talking last weekend, yesterday. Actually, not yesterday, Saturday, Friday and Saturday. I did not shut up my face. That's what I went to the show for. I wanted to talk to folks. I wanted to interact with folks. I always talk to folks. Unless you guys are all Chinese bots. Okay, I think I kind of wrapped my head around how much I used. So we'll see when I mix this up again if I need to use the same amount. After we make a couple of these, I'm going to experiment with pushing it in and then going ahead and pulling it out so that in one session I can use the mold several times. I know. That's a great name though, man. That's a great handle. Okay. So we put those two pieces together. I don't even know how to describe what it tastes like. I don't want to taste it. Can't be good for you. All right, we're just going to start mixing. Okay, it's a little colder in here than yesterday. It's actually really cold in here. Not a complaint, just an observation. I don't complain about it being cold unless I'm getting in cold water. In which case, absolutely not. The town I move into, the springs are really close now. I mean, they're like 5 miles away instead of 20. And I think I've been to the springs maybe 3 times in my life. There's one you go tubing down, and I've never gone. Oh, it's always whatever degrees. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's way too cold all the time. I'm American all the time until I get in cold water. Then I'm Cuban. No way. Can't do it. It's a good thing I went into work yesterday. 3-4 hours or something like that. Didn't feel like 4 hours. I would have been screwed today. I would have had to get up at 3 and go in and then be rushed before people start coming and interrupting. It's almost creating like a little like slurry when you add the water to it to keep your hands from sticking to it. I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, the stuff works pretty good. I don't know if it's if I can bend it upon itself and it'll bounce back. But we'll try it. We're not going to do that now. I'm going to let it sit for a couple days. Which is what I did with the other stuff. Because some of these tracks, when you go around the turret, right, they're attached on the side of the Firefly. So you want them bendy. That will use epoxy to glue them to the turret side. Not super glue that's doesn't get a bendy connection. A bendy glue point. I don't know what I'm saying. Coffee. Which I didn't want the taste of. I wanted like orange juice this morning, which is weird. And we don't have any. It's fine. I don't need to have that. I actually encountered somebody who didn't like the taste of coffee. I forgot to ask him if he didn't like a Spitfire also. He didn't like the smell of coffee. I get it if you don't like the taste of coffee. I drink coffee for, its medicinal value. Liquid motivation. I don't know how I'm going to get this done. Just add coffee. And we'll see. Maybe if you guys are... enough of you guys interact with me in the morning, maybe I'll just do a morning show before I go to work. I don't mind doing that. Get something positive done here. Okay, this looks pretty good. I don't need this stuff to be really thick, except for the wheels. Okay, so let's not focus on the wheels. I don't want to cut on this. I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby and get one of those little ones. I do not want to cut like this. All right, so let's come in and do something like this. Okay. And I do have sculpting tools. It's not very useful. If I was making figures or something like that, but... we're not going to get to that level. That's not really on our agenda. But I have made a cape out of green stuff before. One of my 15 millimeter generals, I made a cape out of them. What else did I do? Oh, lovely. I had a Middle Eastern leader that had a cone helmet, and I put like the little wraps around the bottom of the cone. Turned out okay. I mean, really minimalist kind of stuff, so. But I'm going to be using this stuff more and more because all these extra parts are kind of limited in how many they give you. Green stuff is my hobby kryptonite. I just can't manage to make it look good. Well, maybe I can help you out. Maybe I can show you other mistakes that you're not already making. So I say, hey, I'm on here on my journey. I'll show you maybe some things that you don't know how to do and maybe some things that you don't want to do. Because I make mistakes here. I don't think I make any mistakes that are not fixed. Probably the biggest mistake I've made that's not fixable is when I put together the Panther with that damn Zvezda Panther, and the interlocking road wheels are in the wrong spot. So instead of the single one starting, instead of the double, one of them has the double forward. Fuck it. It looks great. Other than that, keeps me from being perfect. I don't mind talking about shit like that. You know, we're all going to make mistakes. Don't be discouraged. You watch one of those edited videos on how to do stuff, that fucker made so many errors, he just doesn't want to show you. And it's also a pain to, you know, go back and edit it. Although I'm probably sure there's probably some hobby folks that do a bloopers. But this is a new journey for me, kind of like the airbrush is a new journey. I'll never be the best airbrusher. I'll never be the best person at this, but I think I'm going to be able to get by good enough for what I need it for. And the other stuff, we're gonna double it over so it's thicker, and we'll put it in the. I think this is about the right amount of stuff of green stuff. I made it work. Had so many brands, and it had many brands that had really bad ratings, like really bad. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna order something that has a 1.0 rating on Amazon. Been 20 years, can't get the hang of it. No. You know what I was that way with? Sprue. I went and I started doing these vehicles and I thought, oh, I remember how to use sprue, right? I got all these tools I didn't have when I was a young adult. Sprue still whoops my ass because the plastic has changed. I think the plastic is just different. It doesn't stretch out as much. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing wire. If I was doing 28s, I'd probably use bristles, but there's no bristles this size. They're a little, they're too thin. If I was 28s, I would have found a lot of stuff to buy at the convention. But considering I don't need anything because it's just distractions, I'm not really complaining that I didn't come back with a lot of stuff. Now, I don't think I even spent $100. Yeah, I didn't spend $100 on stuff. No, I bought the 4 books, $5 a piece. The tank, $5. That's 25. And like, I spent like $30 on stuff. So all the haul that I had was like 30. That's not bad. And I would have bought more if he had Squadron Signal books I already had. So actually 2 copies of the T-34 one. I already have one. Okay, I think we can walk away from that. Okay, and we'll see at lunchtime. We're not going to do a lunchtime show. That's way too. We're not going to put readers on when I don't have my contacts in. That's not good. All right, let's clean off here. Yeah, my wallet. Thank me, I can't get off to work for Historicon. Do you live nearby? You live nearby for Historicon? I understand getting off work. It's a huge problem for me now. It's always been difficult, but now it's gone to extreme ends. I'm not going to make a habit of taking off Friday and then coming in Sunday. Like, I'll do that, but why am I taking a vacation day? You know? It's impossible to take vacation days. So, and it's a good thing I went in because I got nobody covering for me, and they didn't. Okay, so where we left on this little Sherman we were working on yesterday, we've got There's a little box here on the side. Ah, get these away from me. These, damn it. All right, where's the sprues? Actually, I'm gonna take this. And I'd do a product comparison maybe with green stuff, but I don't know. It looks like they're both going to work about the same. I don't like doing stuff that's not exactly my hobby because then, you know, if people don't watch it, then I'm like, man, I should have just painted. If people come and watch things, cool. If they don't, well, that's cool too. I'm knocking my own stuff out. I'm knocking myself out. Okay, these have the skirts, so that one can go away. Okay, it's this one. It's this one that's the started one. What is this little piece here? Well, it goes on the Firefly, so we're not going to worry about it. We just need this little box right here. "10-hour drive from Canada." Oh, you're one of the Canadian people. I'm not going to let anybody talk trash about your country. I loved it. I don't want to live there, but at least the part of Canada I went to was beautiful. You play World War II stuff? Would you play SS? I was talking about that on the show the other day. Canadians are so freaking nice. They wouldn't capture any SS because the SS treated them like shit. So what did the SS do to the freaking Canadians other than probably shoot them on sight? Not take prisoners. Of course, that was the Hitler Youth dickheads. I really wanted to, had I not found this scenario, I'd probably make these Canadian tanks. And I may just make another set of Canadians for Italy. So I would love to play, you know, these guys that, you know, would blow shit up and then have to apologize for it. You don't do SS. Yeah, I've never done them either. I probably will at some point because of the camouflage, but yeah, they're rat bastards. Okay. This comes over at that angle. These set of rules I use are actually Canadian. The author is Canadian. And I was surprised by how many scenarios came in for the Dieppe operation, which I just don't have any interest in. I'm sorry. It just... I don't have any interest in it right now. There was a church burning in Normandy. That's why we hate the SS. Yeah. Yeah, screw those guys. Not the defenders of Europe. Or any Germans for that matter. The only German defenders of Europe would be the guys that fought the Mongols. Although the Teutonic Knights were assholes too. Yep, I pick winners and losers. One side's always better than the other. Yeah, most of the time. Let's go ahead and do this side too. And let's use caution. And let's grab this with tweezers so that we don't leave my bloody fingerprint there. Sticks up past it? Okay, sticks up past it. Okay. And then we will put a word everybody likes to pronounce differently. I pronounce it cupula. Cupola. I always pronounced it cupula. And I've said it for so long, I don't know if I could be cured, so that's the wrong way to say it. You like flicktarn, but they are a bit epicray. Welcome, James. So how did the US and the Canadians lose the British accent? How did that happen? Because you guys sound the same as us, except, okay, not the rednecks here. You guys sound like our normal accent, other than when you say hoose, moose, and a couple of different things. Very few different things. How did we lose the posh? Something between this and the other one. I think this one. Or what's this one right here? Yeah, this one right here. Yeah. No, let's cut the other way. We'll dull the X-Acto knife just by cutting over the sandy side. Make it last a little longer. Man, that store in Calgary was incredible. That's the biggest game store I've seen in my entire life. It's got to be bigger than anything. It's got to be the biggest place this side of the UK. Okay, and the hatches should open sideways. Yep. And both sides are the same. So before we press that thing in here, let's make sure to put some cement. Then it's hard to get out. Okay. I think one of these guys I'm going to make with a hatch open. but it won't be this one. Well, it's not going to be a very long session today, but it's better than not having one. Oradour sur Glane. The SS locked up women and kids in a church and set fire to it. Not cool. Now, if the women and kids were shooting them or throwing grenades, but if they're minding their own business, not cool. You can't even use the excuse that, oh, well, they're subhuman. Not that that's a viable excuse. Yeah, fuck those guys. Yeah, the SS had to do some other kind of creed or something like that. It had some secret creed. Like I said, they must have done something bad. Something bad to piss off the Canadians. Canadians are nice. Okay, one of these has a periscope. The periscope goes on the outer side. Let's check for fit and finish before we commit. Just sits on top like that. As a reprisal for resistance activities. So yeah, I will never play the SS, especially Das Reich. More like Bon Matin, be paying French ships for the Black Seas. I never got into sailing ships. You want to know why? Because to an untrained eye, which is mine, you really can't look at the silhouette, or I can't look at a silhouette of a 74 gun French and tell the difference between a 74 gun British. I'm into ships, don't get me wrong, but it's got to be, dreadnoughts, that kind of stuff. I actually am really into ships. And I got nothing against the French. I got two people that I know of. They just hate everything French. And I'm like, I'm not the defender of the French, but look, you got to be fair, okay? If somebody came to New York and judged all Americans like people that live in New York, yeah, every one of us is an asshole. But New York isn't America, and Paris isn't France. People live in big cities are stressed out and misbehave and are not the friendliest of folks. So, I got my French partisans that I'm really happy with how they turned out. Okay. That's good. We have a 50 caliber machine gun. It's my alarm for 6 o'clock. I got another 10 minutes in me. Okay, here's the 50. Yeah, the two people that I know of that don't like the French, never met a French person. I don't think either one has met a French person. There's decent people everywhere. Unless they're in the SS. Or NKVD, you know. As much as I dislike communists, there's some folks that fought for the Red Army that, you know, had no choice. They weren't the ones that made a deal with Hitler. Whew. That was close. Okay. Off you go then. And I think I'm going to make this 50 movable. Because the fit and finish on these plastic soldier companies is pretty tight. And I'm not eating snails. Just on principle. Or bugs. Not that they eat bugs. Oh, but snails taste like butter. You know what else tastes like butter? Butter. It has no snail in it. Okay, this. How does this thing sit at rest? According to this, goes straight out. Does it balance that well? Well, I'm going to put it up here, just so I've got... Yeah, this thing is somewhere to attach it to. And the front of the box oh, interesting, goes on the left. It goes like this, all right? And I've got a little punch mark on that 50. So let's get the plastic putty out, which should be right here. I actually played the French this weekend, now that I think about it. I played Battle of Blenheim. Blenheim. And it was a super close game. We barely pulled through. We were ahead at the beginning, and then they played catch-up, and then we overtook them. You know, just dice stuff. Luck. Oh, we've got another... Oh, that's just for the Firefly back here. Okay. The tiniest piece of paper towel. You're going to make a comment about dodgy Hispanics and their Hitler deals just to poke the bear, but I'm too tired to come up with one. Well, my people already left the continent by that point. But that guy played his cards right, didn't he? I don't like short people with mustaches. That pretty much covers... I can't think of a short person with a mustache that I like. But he played his cards right. Yeah, I'm not responsible for dictators of dictators of any flavor. Find a spot. Every rule set that comes out of UK, the French are at a disadvantage. Even if they, even 100 Years' War? If it wasn't for the French, can you imagine how bad English food would be? It'd be horrendous. Sorry, British listeners. You know I love you guys. I do. They're not my cousins, but they're the cousins. This is missing a hole in the mantlet. It's missing a hole for the MG. So, because this is a American tank, so it doesn't have all this apparatuses and the driving position in the wrong place like you people in England just keep doing. That's my only gripe with the English. Can we all just drive on the right side of the road? Literally. Even the French get it. Come on, folks. English food is horrendous. Yeah, nobody gripes about French food unless it's, snails. Or foie gras. Ugh. I don't eat filters. Tastes weird. Okay, so we're going to have to drill a little MG, which even the front line has it. So it's over on this side, kind of up in the air, like it just doesn't care. And we'll probably drill that in either this evening or... I don't know how much evening stuff I'm going to be able to do. The daughter's back for the summer, so I'm going to try to make good use of that. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in, folks. I appreciate it. Hey, those right-hand drive Shermans were all built here in Canada. Excellent. Excellent. Sherman was a good tank. It really was. If the Panther had never been invented, it's better than the German tanks. Reliable as hell. The running gear isn't sexy looking, but it works. Yeah, you guys made those cute trucks too. Those CMP trucks. And cute does matter when you're building stuff. It is a good adjective. Okay, folks. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys on the next one.